I think. I'm always thinking. I know that I overthink and I know I don't think nearly enough, and right now I'm thinking that you're probably thinking this is the worst stinking introduction to a poem you've ever heard. But I'm going to call this the establishing shot. I'm going to call this setting of the scene, because I know in my dreams I'm writing poems of real importance, right? Like one about the London riots, that was topical. Most people had something to say about that, but in fact, the truth is I changed my mind all too often to be violently opinionated about anything. Constantly thinking my cogs whirring away, and even when I'm lazing in the garden and I'm lying on the grass and I've built this sort of tiny climbing frame next to me, but this particular construction is something that I've built for the snails. And one slides over this twig and he stares right up at me with his bouncing eye stick. Have you ever looked into the eye of a snail? And how they rotate that slimy line up towards yours, and that dot inside amidst the wobbling has probably seen the horrors. It has probably stared at death swooping down to crush and peck, peck, peck away. And when have I had such a story? And you think about telling someone this theory that this snail could be the bravest thing you can think of for this fraction of a second, but then you sit back on the grass and you ask yourself to remember that this is just a snail. But I'm scared for the people, and I'm scared for my life, and I'm scared for the snails, and I'm wondering what the future holds for me. I'm wondering if I will get to be greater than my mother. See, this is a shout out for all the hard hours that she put in early to turn me into a good girl, brushing out my curls every blooming morning, barely yawning, screaming, "Ow, Mum, that really hurts!" And she pushed on, and she's the bravest, really, because she put up with the questions, and I did ask questions, all of the questions like when the teacher asked, does anyone have any questions? And I put up my hand and I stand and I say, "Sir, why do people die?" And he sends the rest of the class out to PE, and I now see how inappropriate that probably was, age 7 3/4, but he sits me down and he tells me this story about a tree, would you believe, one that once it grows, it sheds its leaves, and even if it dies, a new one can emerge from the seeds. Well, as I said, I was 7, and jogging around the field seemed more appealing right then. I wish I hadn't said anything, and I could have been with my friends running the bend to the track, but playing on the computers that afternoon, well, I did quite like that. But I don't think she even knows that I appreciate her staying strong, and I still don't think it's wrong that there's still coats at the back on the right of the wardrobe. Take your time. Take your time. Take all the time, because people seem to keep asking me, "Are you with me, Daisy? Are you with me? Are you coming or not?" And I'm just stood there, and it's snowing or raining or some other fitting weather condition that makes things fall from the sky, and I'm completely covered, but I can't move. And now I'm thinking about all my heroes who write their rhymes outside of the lines, so standalone they become a genre of their own, caught up in the agit pop, prog rock, trip rock, beat bop generation, sensationalizing what it is to be poetic, a fight against the generic. And I hope that the worst you could ever say about me is that I'm average, that I don't fight hard enough, that I don't bleed all that often, and maybe this is just a much more heightened, frightened version of myself, and maybe there really isn't anything much more to life. Maybe there's just stuff, right, out there, and we just got to get to it, get down with it, get shitty in the dirt, get hurt. It's all about the little things, and I promise I'll be better. I just need to get my shit together sometimes. I write rhymes you can be proud of, Mum. I will try not to make you sad. I love you too. But I barely know what that means these days. I haven't wrote it in a while. The curtain comes up and everyone's got the script but me. I'm the actor. See, stood in the centre with the lights on me, and I don't know the right lines. It's about time someone gave me the prompt sheet so I can say love sincerely, because I do. Even if I don't think I'm great enough quite yet to be even remotely compared to you. But hang on, a back thought. The light's about to dim, but I remain on stage. My audience's patience wearing thin. Maybe I'm the cursing actress, playing the part of the bumbling fuck-up. Maybe I'm Joseph K. from The Trial by Kafka, always waiting for what transpires, never getting through that door. He wasn't sure whether his eyes were deceiving him or the world around was growing dark. He grows old and alone, and maybe that sounds exactly like me. And I know this poem has taken a turn for the worse. It's like some sort of curse to pour me into my poetry in an attempt to see who I really am. But I hope that you're sitting comfortably, because I feel myself about to start on the person sitting next to me, this great big theory that I've made about snails.